So you think you in love with me, but I'm not the girl of your dreams. Cause I've been rocking and dodging the beat of love. Baby, I'm not the one for you. I'm not letting you on cause you know my truth. But I know just what to do for you. Cause when that Jones come down, hey, na 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 na, hey, ooh, na 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 na. When that Jones come down, hey, nothing you can do about it, hey, ooh, na na na, na 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 na, hey, hey, ooh, na na na. When that Jones come down, hey, nothing you can do about it. So now you're screaming out.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to My Sister Circle. How are you guys?
Doing all right.
Doing good? I am your host, Dewana. We have to your right. Oh, yeah, this is my right.
Hi, everybody. It's O.
And to the left. And to the left.
Hi guys, it's me, Casey.
Listen. Okay. So before we came on, we're late because, not that I have to explain this, but we're late because, mics were too loud in our ear, a little bit of technical difficulties, but not the kind you guys are thinking. So we're laughing because we're trying to gather ourselves because, we be in here going up, bucking with the enemy to get this show started, because it's so much, it's so much deliverance and so much freedom. And so many things to be broken when we go live with My Sister Circle. There's so many topics that we move forward in. We didn't even get to tag and share and do any of those things because we were sitting here trying to gather our minds. So that's that's the laughing that you seen. So we welcome everybody to My Sister Circle. We are so happy that you guys are here this evening. Do me a favor. Before we start our show, I need you guys to like, share, and invite people. Do me a favor, share it to groups, share it to all kind of like the Detroit sale pages, the nail page groups. I don't even know, any inspirational group you can think of. I end up sometimes sending it. I send it to like 50 groups at a time sometimes. So if you can go ahead and do that for me, I truly would appreciate it. We truly would appreciate you guys. So my ladies are right here trying to tag people in, So just tag as many people in as you can because this show is going to be amazing on tonight. So we just have a few things that we need to start with.
Yes.
First of all, how was you guys' week?
It started off a little rocky for various reasons, but today was a beautiful day.
It was. I will have to agree that it was
really
today
good
was
day.
a good day. The wind
Yeah,
It is very windy.
Yeah.
It was really windy.
Yeah.
I had to hold my hat a couple times. It was really windy.
I was going to wear a dress, and then I walked out, and I was like, let's put some pants and a sweater on.
I understand,
Let's put a
Today
sweater on.
definitely is not a weekday.
No, not if you're not going it down. It's not a wig day.
Double-sided tape that down, okay?
It wouldn't been a good thing.
That wig was, the wind was fierce.
So how was your day, Charlie? I can't hear Charlie. Can you guys hear Charlie?
Charlie said he had a really good day.
He had a really good
Thank
day.
you, Charlie.
All right. So, thanks, Charlie. So, let's nominate our Sister of the Week. Before we do anything, let's nominate our Sister of the Week.
Yes,
one more time, before we nominate our Sister of the Week, I want you guys to invite people in, guys. Invite them in. Share. All right. So, also, while you guys are inviting people in, listen, guys, we are so excited to have sponsors come to our show. We are so excited for advertisers. I share the advertising and the sponsorship with people. I go in the store and start talking about it because we welcome all our advertisers and sponsors to our show. Yes. So one of the things that I want you guys to do is always remember that your advertisement, it's welcome here on Sister Circle. So if you guys know anybody that is looking to promote their business, gain more customers, gain more, listen, I'm going to say more members, more anything, any more customers, clients.
All of that.
All of that. Send them our way. because we have some great packages going on. We are going to be offering another special for the month of April. So what you see here is the base prices, but we will offer some more specials during the month of April. So make sure you reach out to one of us. You guys want to say something about it?
Yes, please inbox us. I think it's a great way to promote your business and to get the word out there. If you're not promoting somewhere for yourself, this is an easy way to do that.
I
So
agree.
please inbox one of us and let us know. Send us your information, and we will get you on the screen to bring you some more business.
All right, Keisha, you want to come on, get them in, unction them in,
I'm
sister.
just thinking that, I'm not going to say that there are more women businesses out there than men, but being my sister circle,
well.
there are men businesses as well.
We doing really well right now. We doing
Women
real
are
well.
kind of rocking out right now, so why not have your show ladies on my sister circles? There's tons
awesome.
of viewers. We are all over the place, and why not come here and let
190 countries.
Come
Yeah.
on.
There's one more thing I wanted to say. Listen, so last week, do you guys know what happened last week on the show? I know,
Yes.
I know
And
we know what
while
happened,
we're
but
sitting here, I saw that, but I meant to say something, but we were just like cut off.
we were cut off.
Shut us
So
down.
last week, we were completely shut down towards, was it like the middle of the show or
It
what?
was. I remember seeing it.
Mm.
20 seconds.
So they just cut it.
20 seconds of a song. So what happened last week is they cut us off. So we went from all the viewers, you guys were all watching on Facebook, and then all of a sudden our numbers went down to like 1. Just like out the blue, just went down to 1. We continued with the show because we really didn't know what was going on. So we just continued because the show is on other things, on YouTube and other platforms like Apple Podcasts and things like that. So we definitely continued the streaming. But that was what happened last week. So if you guys were wondering when we got cut off, that was the reason. So this is what I want you guys to do. The link that I posted with the flyer, the Linktree post, the link that I posted with the flyer this week, make sure you guys click on that because that has every platform that we're on. So if Facebook decides to, do their little, hating thing on us, guys, just go to that and click on the top link, which is the One TV. Is it the one.tv? Click on the one.tv because that will take you right back to us. It will take you right back to us. Those who watch it on YouTube, we appreciate you for watching it on YouTube because you guys didn't get disconnected. You were able to still watch it live on YouTube. They didn't have any issues. It didn't block the music. It didn't do any of that. They had no issues
They're not tripping
on YouTube. Absolutely. So. And they already knew that it wasn't our music. We shouldn't have to keep Facebook. I shouldn't have to keep telling you, it's Rihanna.
Yeah.
Because that's why you cut it off. Because you know that I'm not Rihanna. So you don't have to keep on cutting people's stuff off because you know that I didn't write that song. You know I didn't. Or I'm not singing it. So you don't have to do that. Okay? I just wanted to say that. Please don't cut us off because of that.
I bet you if you made a twerk video to it, they wouldn't interrupt
Oh,
it.
yeah. They wouldn't interrupt
Haters.
that. They wouldn't interrupt that.
No, okay.
So, as we go, thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yes.
So, as we continue the show, we are going to go into our Sister of the Week. Listen, I'm so excited about our Sister of the Week. I'm excited about all the Sister of the Week, so don't take that to the head. Okay. But I am really excited about this Sister of the Week. Casey, you want to announce the Sister of the Week?
Yes, our Sister of the Week is very close to my heart. She's my poo, and I am just so excited that she was nominated. She's a wonderful, wonderful daughter, and I am just so super proud of her. She was on Destined for Greatness last night, so you all probably saw her. Miss Armani Covington is our Sister of the Week.
Yay!
Look at that baby.
So beautiful.
So sweet.
So I forgot I had
Armani,
to
we're
read
all
that.
like crushing on you in the studio.
So
you are
beautiful.
absolutely stunning, girl.
Just so gorgeous. So
Right.
so You were nominated today by your sister Whitney. I know you guys have an amazing bond, and she nominated you a couple weeks ago. And you know, it came at such an amazing time because honestly, I didn't realize you guys got to send some more nominations in because Armani was our last person on the list, and guess what? She was the last nomination on the list. Right before she did Destined with Greatness. I had no idea
So
it
that
even
was
went
gonna even
together.
happen that way.
I didn't. But it was perfect because she was on Destined for Greatness yesterday. Shining Apostle interviewed her yesterday. So that was so awesome. If you guys didn't get to watch it, that's Destined for Greatness. It's also on Facebook. So I'm going to read to you what Whitney said, okay? She said, "You're smart, beautiful, creative, loyal, and humble. You're a hard worker and you're a goal-getter. Whatever you want, you work hard for it and you set goals and you always reach them. You're very supportive and you're a great listener." She said she could go on and on about the wonderful things about you, but she'll go ahead and keep it short because she knows that, you know, we a little bit on the time limit. So I thought that was such an amazing nomination, and it was even more amazing that it was Keisha's.
Yes.
That's Keisha's. What you call her, Pooh?
Yeah, that's my
Oh,
pool.
and I didn't tell your mom either. I kept it from
didn't
your
know.
mom.
Yes, I had no idea.
So
So it was truly a surprise.
to see your baby reaching goals, especially the way she's reaching them so fast, how do you feel about that?
I told her yesterday when they got back from Destined for Greatness, I said, if I didn't know you, I would want to know you.
Aww.
That's just how awesome.
amazing.
And they're all doing amazing. They're just shining and just like sprouting, blossoming, and it's just an
love
amazing
it.
feeling. Amazing.
I agree. It is. To see your baby just
Yeah.
go from like
But she's always, you know, and I was thinking about a story yesterday, and I'll be quick with it, that when she was like 2, she's always been into fashion. And I don't know if you guys, well, we used to live in Detroit, like on Finkel, and they used to sell like the little fake Coach belts.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to get one. And so at the time, my husband was like, why? You know? And so I went home and I was like, well, I got this Coach belt. And Armani literally was like, that is not Coach. It's Foch. It's Foch. And she was like 2.
You knew early
Early on. So she was into fashion. She knew she used to call Fairlane Fairline. That was at like 3.
I love
so
it.
she's always been into fashion and always
Wow.
been, that's her.
That's incredible.
So yeah.
Beautiful.
So congratulations, Armani. We are so
Congratulations.
happy that you are our Sister of the Week. We are so blessed that we can even be in the same, you know, in the same circle,
Yeah.
you know, with someone so amazing. You know,
Yeah.
you are a young person. I think your mom, 23 years old?
23.
23 years old with multiple businesses, making it happen. She has a new business out that's called Color Me Meat. We'll make sure that that information is posted. She sells so many great things on this website. I'm talking about bundles,
Oh.
okay, beautiful shiny rhinestone hair
yeah.
headbands and cute hats. What are the hats called? Like the bucket hats. What are?
hats, yeah.
So
Okay.
she
Bucket
sells
hats.
those, but they're not just like any bucket hats. They're like
the soft
the
ones,
velvet
yeah.
type.
They're really soft in the
I'm
taste.
gonna
Like I like to
Something
cozy up
Armani.
with.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is the other thing that we forget. I don't think there has been one episode of our show
That
that
she
you
has
have
not.
not tuned in. And
That's
thank
right.
you for that with your super fine, gorgeous self. Okay?
There has not. That's why
Not
when
one time.
That's why when you said I gotta call and make sure she watch it. I'm like, she gonna be
she's
on
already
anyway.
there.
She
Yeah.
gonna be on anyway. She is very
And she tags people
she
and
does
everything. I
very
love
faithful,
it.
and I think that goes to show how proud she is of you.
Yeah.
I really do. Just seeing you glow and everything on the show, I think she's proud of you, so that makes her even want to push it even more. So I'm excited
I'm
for
excited too,
your
but I
babies.
just want to shout out all the women, and I'm not going to go back to the sponsorship, but all the women who are rocking out in their businesses, young and our age.
Come on.
You know, they are really doing it. So I'm
I
just
agree.
excited for all the women that are just doing this business thing and ordering that inventory. Let's get it in.
Yeah.
Shipping is taking forever.
Look,
It is.
let me go to the website so I can order something.
I
You
digress.
got to.
Yeah.
You got to. All right. So, what's our topic for today, Casey?
Well, our topic for today is the second act, life after divorce.
All right.
Heavy.
I would say, can you say mogul? I would totally agree. She is a mogul. I would definitely have to agree with that comment.
Yes.
So I'm trying to load my comments, guys. So don't think that I am not listening
Aware.
or anything. I'm just trying to do, y'all know I be working like 2 million things at once.
Multitasking.
So I'm trying to pull up the comments so that I don't have to read them on this little screen, because you see I always have to look to you guys. Like, can you read it? Can you read it?
We got you.
So, okay, because they're not up at the moment. All right. So, all right. So the second act, life after divorce. The second act, life after divorce. So, guys, if you guys remember, viewers, if you guys remember when we first told you about ourselves 10 weeks ago.
My gosh.
10 weeks ago.
Guys.
Okay, all right. We was in a moment. We was in a moment.
Like
right.
10
What
weeks.
we about to be.
Season.
That's a season.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
when we told you guys about ourselves, I am married. Orion,
I am divorced.
Keisha.
I am happily divorced.
Okay. All right. Well, is there such thing as not being happily divorced?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't always there.
Okay. Well, see, that's what
get
we're going to
there.
get into. Oh, we're going to get into that. Okay, okay. So, I just would think, I'm sorry I had to pause, but I just would think if you got divorced,
You're happy?
I mean, that
No.
you're going into, okay, let's wait. We're
We're gonna get there.
We're going
We'll
to
get there.
I'm sorry. Okay. So, I decided that, because I know you guys some weeks be like, dang, D is talking a lot. So I decided that I'm going to digress this week. And I am going to let our beautiful co-hosts, these beautiful, wonderful, amazing women, they're going to take the lead on this show. And I'm just going to piggyback on some of the things and ask a few questions and things like that, because I haven't been through a divorce, but I have been in my marriage to where, we've spoken about divorce, and it got to the point where it was like, okay, real heated a couple times to where it was like, it's done, it's over with.
Yeah.
I'm leaving you, well, whatever. And so I've been in that hot seat before, but never, taking that step of actually signing papers and moving out and things like that. So, all right. Let's do this, ladies.
Let's go.
Y'all got this, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we
got
go.
this.
Let's
You're
go.
good.
All right. Come on. Let's.
So, I am newly divorced, and it feels weird to even say that, because I'll start with saying that I have never publicly announced my divorce. I have never really, in the process, I didn't even really tell anyone. I think I may have told my immediate family, my mom, my sisters. I avoided telling my brothers. And one of my dear friends. So this is my first time actually really publicly talking about it. And it's also like a deep sigh of relief, because I was thinking today, the funny part is I was telling Dewana, yesterday I was cleaning up and going through some things and stumbled across my divorce papers. And I have not given them a second look since yesterday. So it kind of did something to me and like threw my day upside down a little bit and put me in a little bit of a funk, because it will be 2.5 years that I will be divorced on April the 10th. So,
But you know what that was about, right?
I know
yeah.
it's nothing but the enemy to throw
yeah.
me off.
To throw you off,
you know.
so you wouldn't have did this today.
Yeah, to throw me off, but you got to be quicker than that. Because she's a tough bird. So
I love that.
Yeah. So to sit here and to talk about it when I can imagine 3 years ago going through the process of not even knowing if I was going to be alive to talk about it, because I was just that depressed. I just want to take a minute to tell the Lord thank you.
Ooh, yes.
I really want
Because
to tell
you
the Lord thank
survived
you. I have survived. I survived that situation, the feelings, the depression, the feeling like a failure. And I thank God for being able to come to a place of wholeness. So that's why I think it's so pivotal. We could talk about divorce, like the process and starting, but I think the most important part is to talk about how you recover from it once it's done, and how you go on and live and thrive and be the best person you can be after you sever that tie with that person. So
Now, can I ask, why didn't you tell anyone? Is it just because you're a private person, or?
it's a twofold thing. I'm a private person. I think maybe if children were not involved, maybe I would have vocalized it, but I'm very protective of my kids. I'm a private person, and I do not think that everything, like sometimes I'm a little astounded by what people put on Facebook, and I do not think that is at all a status. I'm getting divorced.
I agree.
So I was like, I didn't say anything to anybody. In fact, people still walk up to me and ask me, how's your husband doing? That's how low-key I kept it. Because even though my issues with him are my issues, I still feel the need to protect him, to protect myself, and I'm
to protect the
definitely
kids, the
going to
boys.
protect my kids. And that's not anybody's business but mine.
I agree.
So, yeah, that's why I was
So
mum.
was that something that he was open about with like his, because I know you listed just maybe like 4 or 5 people that it even came out to. So let's even back up from that.
Yeah.
It was a public thing, not a Facebook public thing, but you know, you kept it really tight of who even known about it. So was he the same way? Was he open about it, or?
He is a relatively private person too. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, I want to say I never asked him, but I think that he probably kept it to himself too. I don't ever recall hearing that, like, hey, there's a Facebook post about you. You guys are split. So I think we both,
We're pretty private.
you know what I mean? We're pretty private and super grown. So I
Right.
just don't think that everything is for everyone to hear, especially about the dissolving of your marriage. It's not like we were boyfriend and girlfriend and roommates. We took vows and had a huge wedding in front of our entire church family, with like 450 people. And to keep thinking about, like, all these people saw and they know that we're married.
Yeah,
And
that wedding was that was a real deal.
it was huge
was-
and obnoxious.
It was that was a real deal wedding. I was blown away.
Yeah, but I wanted to respect him, and I wanted to be able to heal going through the process, and I wanted him to heal. And I was like, even though I was furious at the time, I was like, I'm not going to disrespect the good times that we had and publicly announce that this is over. So no, we weren't doing that.
Okay. So, did you, before I ask her, because I'm kind of going to be like the interviewer today.
Okay.
And just and ask a few questions, in between. So, how with your happily, let me add your word on there.
Yeah.
Happily divorced. How was yours more open in public with family and things like that?
Well, he was open in public. He had women fighting in the streets over him while I was at home, being, wife
Nah,
and
brother.
mother. So yeah, it was.
I guess so then.
Yeah. They probably knew before I did. I just solidified it like when the clothes were out. I would always look in the closet. Clothes go to the cleaners. How many coming back?
Oh, so he was the
He
one.
was slowly going, but he left. He left. So it wasn't my choice, but when he left, I was okay with it, but what I wasn't okay with was my marriage ending.
Your marriage ending.
So it wasn't that I so
that's
much
good.
wanted him, but I wanted the marriage.
Yeah.
I wanted what
That's
I thought
deep.
would be and
That's
what
deep.
I hoped for. So that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to save, not the man. Because I had dealt with the man in the marriage for 18 years. The man was not living up to what he was supposed to do. But yet we still had a home. We still had a marriage.
Yeah.
And the kids still have their dad.
That's very interesting because one of the times that James and I had that conversation where we would talk about divorce, that was something he said to me. Those exact words. He said, "You don't want me, you want this marriage.
Just like when we get married.
And that
we
blew,
want
and
the
that
wedding.
told me up.
You know, we're all about the wedding, but we
Mm-hmm.
forget there's life after. Because
That's
I had a
true.
big wedding too. I had all the man, you know, the street man in my wedding. I had, you know, a
so it was
nice
paid.
big
It was,
wedding. Like they wore Iverson gym
got
shoes
you.
and
Yeah.
So
love
we
it.
had a big wedding, and
Beautiful.
it was So the wedding, and then the life after the wedding, and what you expect, you want that. And when it doesn't happen, there is a death.
Yeah.
And that's where the mourning and the grieving and the hurt comes in.
So, would you guys say that for you, that divorce was the last resort? Or for you it was 18 years, and how many years was it of?
17. It's like, no, maybe 16. 16. Maybe 16.
Okay.
Let's say.
So, okay.
I'm not going to fall off this chair tonight. I'm not.
So let me read Ebony's comment real quick so we can take a deep breath. Some people act like a divorce is like a listening party or celebration. It's devastating and personal.
Yes.
Yep, it is.
It is.
It is. And so, yeah, I totally agree with that. Yep. So, all right. So for you, was divorce the last?
I remember going through some things, some tests and trials in marriage, and being young and not knowing how to use my words because I got married young. I remember getting mad and constantly throwing out, well, I want a divorce. You know what I mean? And regretting saying that. But once it got to a certain point, I was kind of like in denial. At first, I was like, I'll just ride this out until my kids are 18, and if we still haven't figured out something, then I'll get a divorce.
Oh,
but
my.
then another pivotal situation happened, and I was like, you know what? We are both miserable, and it is time for me to.
And once
It's
you
time to
have
go.
that escape plan, once that
Yeah.
divorce is, you're out, and you know, okay, I'm gonna give it this amount of time, and then I'm out. You've
Yeah.
already divorced. It's already kind of
I
you've made
think,
up your
yeah,
mind.
emotionally,
Yeah.
you divorce 1st. So emotionally, mentally, you kind of just sever that emotional tie. Even though, like, I still cared about him, and we lived together up until our divorce was final in the same house. You know, raising our kids, taking care of them.
I remember that time.
Being cordial,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and I'm thankful to God. Like I hope he doesn't hate me. I don't hate him. You know what I mean? Still love him and care about him. But I'm so thankful to God, at least for that chunk of time while we were living together, that we did do our very best. I mean, we acted super grown, living underneath that roof, taking care of our kids. So, So, you know, it was time. So.
Because we can skip down some because we want to make sure that we, we give the statistics and, talk about the things about divorce. But we also want to make sure that we don't go over time and that we definitely get to that second act, life after the divorce.
Yes.
Because, I want everybody to hear that there is, they're living witness.
Absolutely.
They're sitting right here that there is life after divorce. So, how does divorce affect children?
Well, divorce for my kids, and I'll say this briefly, they did not understand why their mommy and daddy were not still going to be in the same house. So it was very difficult and is still very difficult for them to adjust. But I think the most important thing to do for your children when you decide that you are going to separate your families is to make sure that your children know that it's not anything that they're responsible for. Reiterate that more times than you can blink. It's not your fault. This is between mommy and daddy, and make sure that you govern yourself a certain way so that they believe and understand that it has nothing to do with them and that their father is still your friend, even if you want to set him on fire. Still behave yourself.
They would never know you wanted to set
They
him
would
on
never,
fire.
ever,
They
ever
should never know.
They should never know. Your issues are with your soon-to-be ex-significant other. It has nothing to do with your children. So because of who I am and because of who my ex-husband is, the transition has been very easy. And they have not had a lot of emotional outbursts or tantrums or anything because I just wouldn't allow it to be so.
That's amazing. And what about your babies? How old were they when this?
Middle school and elementary. Yeah, Hannah was maybe in the 4th grade. So yeah, elementary and middle school, I believe. And I think the hardest part was that when he left, he dropped everything, financial responsibilities. And all I would ask is for phone calls. Keep your relationship, stay consistent with your relationship. And that part he didn't do. I think that affected them with just not having
Their father.
dad. Yeah. And so I just think back to it, like we moved so many times, finances were hard, and he never regarded that. So I think that was the hardest part, new life, new woman, you move on, and I don't know how some men do that, but so that made it really hard. And I think the best thing that I can say now is that he's consistent still. So at least they grew to see how
This is just
and,
him.
and it's better. It is just him, and our relationship is great now, and I thank God for that. But the consistency showed. Well, this was how
His
he
character
was,
flaws is what it is.
Right, it is what it is, and we, it's you're grown, and the relationship that you have now with him has nothing to do with me. But it was hard. It was very, very hard, and it was a lot of sadness with it because I grieved the marriage. It was like a death to me. And I think I told you I went to his uncle's funeral, and I can remember feeling like, okay, my marriage is being buried here also, because it was a mourning, and it was so heavy, and it was like a cloud over me for many years. I mourned my marriage for many years. It did not just go away quickly. But the life and the healing that comes after is amazing. I thank God for pulling me out, because I don't know what would have happened. Maybe a prison ministry or something. Maybe
It would have been on Orange is the New
it
Black.
would have been right. Or
Or
even me just probably really losing my mind in that situation. So I just thank God for pulling me out. We can't always see what's best for us in the midst of that situation.
Yeah.
And at the time, I knew it was best for him to leave, but the hurt that came with it, I don't think I was prepared for. But God got me through.
Absolutely.
There's life after divorce.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Producer, if we can just go to commercial really quick.
No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, there is a force that unites us all. Join the movement and let your lips do the talking with Ide Cosmetics. Available on idecosmetics.com.
We need to do the heal.
Or no, we can do that. We can do that last. So maybe some premarital counseling. We talk about that as communication, things so that we don't go to divorce.
Okay.
I think.
Elegant Affairs offers custom clothing, including denim jackets, masks, and other unique designs.
Prophet, do you have the
We
statistics, or
offer
you want me to read
fashion
them?
jewelry, bags,
No
and
problem, I got you.
accessories.
We already did.
We also offer event planning. Reach out to us at 734-558-6236 or reach us on Facebook at
Oh, you hear
Elegant
me?
Affairs.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Elegant Affairs, when it is time to
My-
shine.
The ladies, they hear us here.
And we are back. And as we enter into the second segment of our show, Act 2, Life After Divorce, we want to start off by reading you some statistics about divorce, really briefly. So according to a recent survey of 191 CDFA professionals from across North America, the 3 leading causes of divorce are basic incapability, infidelity. Well, I'm going to give you these percentages. So basic incompatibility, 43%. Infidelity is only 28%. I was expecting it to be a bit higher than that. And money issues is 22%.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the second thing twice. So let's go to the second statistic. So the U.S. Census Board reported in 2018 that 7.7 out of every 1,000 women over the age of 15, hopefully a little older than that, got divorced based on this data. The rate of divorce for women is almost 5 points higher than the national average, and that is from a study done June 1st of 2020 of last year. Then there's one more, and this is going to hit people a little different because this hits home for us as Black women. So, which race has the highest divorce rate. Black women were the only group that had a higher divorce rate than marriage rate, with nearly 31 divorces per 1,000 married women aged 15 and older, and only 17.3 marriages per 1,000 unmarried women. So we are on the rise as Black women getting divorced.
Oh, that's disappointing.
That
It's
is
very
so
disappointing. It is.
All right, so I guess you reading the statistics, definitely we're able to. You guys are laughing because you guys heard us in our mic. It's okay. That's exactly why we watch what we say when the show go on, when the show go on commercial. We always make sure we watch what we say before we go to commercial.
Lord.
You'll never be able to get us that way. What you say? You got to be what?
You gotta be quicker than that.
Seriously. So, some of the things that, what are some of the things that we could do to prevent that?
Well, I don't understand why Black women are divorced. Why it's the highest for Black women? I have a problem with that. What's going on? Ladies, what's going on?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
We're not angry.
Maybe we are just a pinch.
Look, what?
But let me mic cut. Maybe just a little angry. I just think that, and I'm not attacking any Black men. I think Black women are coming to a point in their lives where they are not willing to deal with a certain amount of things. I think it starts back from maybe our grandparents' generation.
It for sure does.
Where the person could lie or be unfaithful or have a gambling or drinking issue, and they'd be like, well, Jerome pays the bills and everything's all right, and we're going to forget about it.
Yes,
Today's woman is like, oh, you didn't put the cap on the toothpaste? You out. But you can't live like that. You know what I mean? There has to be something that,
Don't come at me, people. But I have a question.
Do I need to write this question down for later?
I'm saying,
Okay,
so
go ahead.
is that why? And it's just a question. I mean, you see our sports, our athletes, our
I know what you're going to.
powerful Black men in a higher whatever.
Yes.
Is that why they
Absolutely.
move toward the Caucasian woman?
the vanilla milkshakes.
Because they're more easygoing. Like we're not easygoing. I'm getting angry thinking I'm not easygoing. But is that why? I mean, no. And I wish some men were on here to say, like, is that why? Because they feel like they can gel better or it's easier. They don't want the push.
They do. I think you hear that a lot, and I see it a lot on my Facebook news feed. It's like every day there is, and I'm not a man basher. I love y'all if you're watching. Y'all got to do better. We all got to do better. But I love y'all. But the thought process is angry Black women, and this and that. Well, what are your actions saying? I wouldn't be angry if you knew how to govern yourself in a proper way. I wouldn't have to act a fool if you were not misleading. So think about your actions. You think we're focused on the reaction and not the action. You can't focus on how I am upset when you fail to acknowledge the fact that you have disappointed me and let me down. So let's think about that first, and then we can talk about angry Black women. Let's talk about where y'all slip up.
And what are we saying about the nice Caucasian woman? Are we saying that she's a pushover?
Yeah, I guess she's passive.
Are we she's just easier going?
Yeah,
because I don't understand. That statistic, I said it earlier, didn't I? Like, I don't understand it. So it's kind of insulting to her saying that Karen is.
Well, what it says to me is you much rather deal with and I'm not saying white women are weak-minded, but you much rather deal with a woman who's weak-minded and doesn't have an opinion, is going to allow you to walk all over her and still make sure she makes you Kraft macaroni and cheese at the end of the night while you do what you want to do. That just won't work.
But I don't feel like we are that pushy, but I'm going to go ahead and
No, you guys keep it going. Keep it coming.
I don't feel like we're that pushy. We're stern, but I mean, I just don't.
I do think that it does. She did say Karen. That baby said Karen. Okay. So,
Karen.
I do think that it comes from the mentality of, and the generational things that we've been, our ancestors and our, grandparents
Yes.
and everything they've been through. So it is a different time now. Things that they dealt with, we're not so easily willing to deal with those things because now we find that we have a voice.
Yes.
Before we didn't, before back then, they didn't have a voice. And African American women did not have a voice. We weren't to speak. We weren't to do it. It wasn't equal opportunity or things like that. And I mean, you still have the issues now. So I think now, and I can go even on the men as well because they deal with some generational things from their, forefathers as well. They deal with some deep-rooted issues of this is how you're supposed to, treat a woman. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you act, and you can have multiple women and things like that. So some of those things they deal with are really deep-rooted issues. But I think that's where the communication comes in. So the premarital counseling. Do you do premarital counseling?
Yes. Yeah, I think before you get married, you need to definitely, not only do you need to go to premarital counseling, and I'm not talking about one session, you need to go to multiple sessions. You are getting ready to merge two lives together. And I also think that it is really great for the two of you to go to therapy before you get married.
Therapy's on my list.
People have so many childhood traumas and misplaced issues and anger and
absolutely
abuse they dealt with and weird things that they saw their parents do, so they're going to bring it into your marriage and you don't even know about it. Go to therapy and work those things out and put it on the table before you say I do, so that you don't have to get a divorce.
That's right.
And I think that's important. Those things that you just listed are very, very important because communication is something that we definitely, we struggle with that, struggle with that. And I don't know if it's just honestly in our community, in African American women. I don't know if it's just us that struggles with communication, but things that, there should be things. I was talking to our producer earlier today, and there should be things that's discussed at the beginning of the marriage or the relationship. Let's go by the dating part. There should be things discussed then. You should know if this is something that you're going to move forward with, if you're going to marry this person, because things of wants and dislikes and things that you like to spend money on and things that you're willing to sacrifice and all of those things, sexual. All of those things has to be discussed. What you like in the bedroom, what you don't like in the bedroom, what can be allowed, what cannot be allowed. Those things have to be brought into the conversation ahead of time, because when they're not, that's when the different things come in place. You think you're gonna get married and those things aren't gonna hit you? Absolutely, and that's where we have the expectations.
You do have expectations.
We have what you call what? What do you call those expectations? Unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, and you got to have those hard conversations.
I think a lot of the times, for myself, you think that everything, because you're getting married, and we did the marriage counseling that couple of times, and we're getting married now, and we're going to have babies and everything's going to be fine. It doesn't work like that. Marriage is a continuous work and a pouring out of yourself and filling up the other person's cup. You become one unit. So you have to make sure that you keep the lines of communication open and understand that person and make sure they feel appreciated, make sure that you're getting the things that you need, and all of that falls back under to communicating with your spouse, or it's just doomed from the get-go.
Communicating with the person that you're dating, because we shouldn't even make it. We should start at dating, because so many times I'll even discuss my own marriage. In my own relationship, there was some things a ton of things that we just did not discuss with one another. My spending habits, his spending habits, my savings, his savings. And we didn't discuss these things the way that we should have. What do you like? What do you agree on as far as how we discipline the children? And, what's your cup, with that? How do you go about, is it punishment or is it whooping? We didn't discuss those things and we bumped heads. Now we're a blended family and we're bumping heads because some of the things I disagree with, some of the things he's like, you are losing your mind. And his mother, James' mom is a army. She's from the army. So James grew up, he lived in Germany when he was younger. So some of the things that his thought process and some of the things that that was instilled in him, he had to do things like, you know, it was just his mom worked. It was just his mom providing, you know, and his mom worked a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So they grew up totally different from what my mom was, a stay-at-home mom, you know. So it's a whole lot of different things that you are supposed to communicate about. And when you don't communicate about them, now you're bringing two families together or two individuals together. And the things that you did not communicate about, you're going to bump heads about every single time. There's not, and then so at that point, do you go to therapy?
Absolutely.
Because you know how many people don't go to therapy?
There are, you know, I am such a huge advocate for therapy. I think
too.
I went to therapy. I go to therapy. I'm not ashamed, okay? I love therapy. I love my therapist. I should send him something right now just thinking about him. But it's like, I don't understand why people are, especially the Black community. That's what I'm upset about. We spend our money and our time doing everything else but that. You know what I mean? Go to therapy and talk about your issues and work them out so that you don't put that on somebody else and then you decide you want to get married and you're giving them a whole bunch of junk that you haven't worked out yet. Go to therapy and work it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have to go through something real quick. What are some unrealistic expectations that you guys have brought into your marriage?
Oh,
be
boy.
honest. Let's just be honest. I'll go first so that I'll put my transparency out on the table first.
Okay.
Some of my unrealistic, and here's what makes them unrealistic to me. What makes them unrealistic is that sometimes what you want a person to be is just not who they are. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It honestly does not mean it's a bad thing. It's just who they're not that person. So you're expecting something because in your mind, you have built this up in your mind that this is how you want it to be, but that's how you want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's just not what that person, sometimes that person isn't capable of bringing that.
Right.
Okay, so some of my unrealistic expectations was, and again, I want, when you hear the word unrealistic, doesn't mean that you will never get there or that's something that you'll never do. But when you bring those things to the relationship and you expect those things, what you're doing is you put a bar up here, and that person at this time in their life, in this season where they're only here. And you up here thinking that they about to bring what they only have. This is how full their cup is. And you want them to come up here, and it's just not realistic.
No.
So I brought a lot of things like the way I was raised. You know, my dad was my dad was a bonding dad, and this is not to offend my husband because me and my husband have talked about these things. But my dad was a dad that he took us to the movies, and you know, he took us out shopping, and he spent the type of quality time with us that I feel every daddy should do.
Yeah.
But my husband didn't grow up that way,
So
where
that
he
wasn't
didn't have it to where you know, his father spent that type of quality time with him. So that's just, and you know, it's two type of people. It's either you're gonna be that person or you're not.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And so we bumped heads a lot with no, you should be. They want to play football out in the yard while you're not out there
Right.
throwing that football.
Like
and
my
then
dad did.
and then guess what happened? My dad will pull up 2 hours later and he outside playing with him. Now I'm livid.
Because, like, why can't you be
I'm
like...
livid.
Yeah.
And guess what I would do? Not even bring it up to him, but just be. I would be. It would be. Flames, okay? Because I'm just like, I don't even understand this. What are you doing?
What's wrong with you?
And now I got an attitude.
Yeah.
I'm not a withhold sex person, but I would have an attitude like, I'm fixing this plate and I give it to you.
I'm not
Terrible.
Not with the head turn. Not with the head turn.
Look,
because I'm not happy.
Take these pork chops.
terrible, okay? Just that's horrible behavior. That's horrible behavior.
Based on your expectations.
Absolutely. So, is that something?
Same thing, just wanting the person to be something that they're just not. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily a bad thing. People are
It's not.
different. And I can't force you to be a communicator or to do this or to do that. If it's not in you, we can work towards those things, but ultimately if it's just not your bag, we're left at a deficit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you?
I just think I expected that we both would, like, he would come out of the streets. And I think I disappointed him because I was in the streets. So I was in the streets, and then I came out, went to church, got saved, had babies. I wanted home, picket fence. Even though I know how to cook a lick, but I wanted that. You know
but you're a great cook now?
Yeah. It's not crazy. I don't know what happened.
That wasn't for him then.
But, yeah, so I expected that change. I expected it, and we never talked about it. You know, like I loved the wedding, but never talked about what was after the wedding and what I thought would be. So that was the thing for
All
me.
right. So we get it's 7:50. I think we started maybe like did we
We have a few comments too.
Did we start how late did we start? How long did we have? I know it says 5 minutes, but how long did we truly have?
How long?
10 minutes?
I cannot hear Charlie.
7 minutes. Okay, that works. Okay.
So we do have a few comments.
All right, read them quick and then let's go through the life after.
Ebony says, I believe it's because we're so career driven, we're more goal focused. Sometimes we have a mindset being so independent. This is why we maybe our divorce rate is so high. We know what we want because we sampled the trial package already. The Build-A-Bear, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I think divorce, this is Tommy, man's point of view, but he said nothing about this statistic. That's what I wanted to hear. But I think divorce is an unfortunate reality of life, and while I do believe it should come as a last resort, I also believe it only makes sense when two people who have a genuine love for each other finally come to understand that there is a notable difference between love and compatibility. Yes.
I agree. I do. I totally agree with that, honestly. Yeah. I do believe that divorce should be the last resort. I remember Apostle told me when she did our counseling, she said, don't use the word divorce anymore. And then after she said that, no. And her favorite thing is to say is love is not love until it's tried by fire. Right. Yes, and so those things honestly set with me and was like, okay, we got through infidelity. Okay, we got through these things, and now here we at blended family issues, and we can't get through this. What? Right. But that's because of blended family. These I don't know who this. This not to offend anybody, but kids. If you allow kids to come between you guys, it will tear your marriage up, and I mean that.
Or even the baby mama.
That will tear your marriage up because you have to understand that yes, you love your babies to death, but there is a right and there is a wrong. You gonna follow it should be a unity between mommy and daddy, mom and dad, and then I know some people don't like this, and then there's the babies.
One more time, I feel like we should have had an example of the umbrella. Your children do not come first.
They don't.
Stop it. They don't go first at dinner time.
They don't
go first.
They don't come first.
Under God's holy ordinance,
they don't
his
come
rules,
first,
his regulations, your husband goes first.
Even
when he's acting ugly.
Even if he's acting ugly, he still comes first. But if you have a great husband, y'all children are gonna come first. So don't let the devil mess you up. Yeah. He still comes first. Yeah. It's just what it is. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, it was the we're here.
So we're here. We're divorced. And we're here, and it's getting to know ourselves. For me, this is the best part about divorce. This is the only spot of sunshine. I have learned things about myself that I never ever thought that I would know or even knew when I was married, because I married young. I love the independence. I love the way that God is controlling my mind and regulating my heart and my thought process. I love that God is allowing me to heal. And I love that God was able to allow me to forgive, even if I have not been forgiven by other people.
Come on.
God has allowed me to forgive, to not wish any ill, to hold myself to a higher standard, even when you think or feel like others are not. And
so getting to know yourself.
Yeah, it's just getting to know yourself and being like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, this is a new me. This is a new door I'm walking through. This is a new person. Because if you stay where you were when you were going through the divorce, when you decided to file, you will be miserable for the rest of your life. You have to take your life and what you're going to do moving forward into your own hands, and you have to have some accountability, and you have to be the very best person that you can be. And all of that starts with forgiving the person and then forgiving yourself, because it takes two people to get divorced. We're not all innocent. I'm not even about to sit here and tell you Orion's an angel, because I'm not.
Because we didn't even get to touch on that accountability.
No.
That
you have to be accountable for your actions, and you have to go back and say you're sorry. You did something.
Even if it sucks.
Yes, it's going to burn. It's going to make you sick to say you're sorry. If the person allows you the opportunity to say you're sorry. And that's when you take it to God and you repent and you ask for forgiveness, and then we leave it there. But say you're sorry and try to be the best person you can be after that.
That's great.
What do you say?
I say divorce is hard.
Because you've been divorced how long now?
Oh my God, over 12 years.
Okay, so you're great at even answering this question.
That, with divorce in the beginning, it is hard, but if you stay under God's umbrella and let Him just cover you, I promise the tide will turn.
Yes, indeed.
It will turn in a way that you will enjoy that time. Let the kids go with Him, because for me, I didn't like the woman that He left me for. I didn't want my kids there, but once I realized, okay, the time they go, I get to spend with myself. So let that go, and you'll find that she really didn't like my kids anyway. So that was to pull him in. So, but it worked. And like I said, the tides will turn, and things will begin to go in your favor, and things that revenge that you sought or the way that you're feeling will pass, and you won't even think about it. And there is just light and love and happiness at the end of the tunnel. That place that you're in, the things that you're going through will not last always. And there can be friendship in divorce.
Yes.
So I think just stick with it, and you'll be good.
I love it. So there could be so much more. No slugs on the walls of your wells. Let go and let God. I truly agree.
I like that.
So I love this show. I definitely wish we had more time to keep going. I'm going to challenge you guys to just answer some questions. Even if it's not for you, but if it's for you to help someone, I want you to answer, what are some reasons or opinions that constitutes divorce? All right. Unrealistic expectations. And I want you guys to put all of this on our Facebook wall. Okay. So just answer away. I can post the questions. If you guys want me to post the questions, I'll do that as well. So what are some reasons and opinions that constitutes divorce? And what are some unrealistic expectations? And do you believe that it's selfish of not knowing? Do you believe that you're a selfish person, or is it selfish to choose divorce when you know that it affects others without doing therapy, without doing everything that you can to make sure that your marriage works? So I'm gonna put all of that. Everything. I agree, Charlie. Everything. Can they hear you, Charlie? I wanted you to say it, so I didn't have to repeat it. You can't hear him? Which color?
Okay. Is he praying?
Come on.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely, Charlie. Thank you.
Okay. So, guys, we have come to the end of the show. We do we have one more? Can you make sure at the end that you put the This Is Us, and can you put the possibility? I'm sorry. I really need you to put the sponsors things up. Okay. All right. So one more time, we did talk about this earlier in the show. We are offering sponsorship packages. We do have some amazing sponsorship packages where you guys can give one of us a call. You can text us, you can inbox us to be a sponsor or an advertiser on our show. Listen, I'm gonna just be real with y'all, real quick. Y'all can't see me, but you can hear me. We need you guys. All right. We absolutely need you guys to be sponsors. Okay, you guys have some amazing businesses. You have some wonderful, amazing. I am so proud to see my sisters growing the way that they are, and we need you guys to be advertisers on our show. You guys being advertisers on our show helps us. It helps us to continue with Sister Circle. It helps us to help families. It helps us to continue working in the community, because that's where we're going to get ready to get into some community relations things. So you guys sponsoring our show and becoming advertisers on our show definitely helps my Sister Circle, and it helps us as a whole. Okay, all of us as a whole. We're going to begin to help families, things like that. So we need you guys to come on and support us and be an advertiser on our show. Men, we need you too.
Yeah.
We need you.
Absolutely.
Talk about it, y'all. So tell them how much we listen. You can also be a podcast supporter, where you can just send us in a special gift. To our Cash App is at the bottom. You can send $5. You can send $6. You can send $10. You can send $10,000.
Whatever
God puts on your heart, you can send that in. Seriously, because we do need the sponsors. You know, I'm gonna be real transparent. I have been getting a little discouraged about the advertising, just because how I seen it, or how God showed me. And you know, sometimes God show you something that it's not always necessarily going to be right at that moment, but it's when he wanted to be, where the overflow starts to happen. So again, I don't doubt that it's going to happen, because I know that it's going to happen. But I did start to get a little discouraged, like, hey, we have so many viewers, we have so many supporters, but we have so many supporters that are business owners, but why they don't want to advertise? I started to get discouraged, and God said some things to me, and actually Prophet Blaine said some things to me that for real, you know, lighten that load up off of me, and I'm just happy. I'm excited. So congratulations to the new advertisers and sponsors that are getting ready to be on my Sister Circle, because we are not just gonna stay here. We are going up and up and up and up and up, and the levels that we're going to, I'm excited to see all of our sisters go.
And it will be sponsors.
Yes.
See, look at here. We have someone saying Gracefully Broken Mentoring and Dance will be advertising really soon.
Yes. Congratulations. Thank you, Erica. So, we are going to end the show. We are going to end it with prayer. Anybody want to take us out?
I will.
All right. And then before we end it completely, I need you guys to stay on, because we have two things that are going to come up that are some sponsorship things, okay?
All right. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time that we've spent together here with our sisters and our viewers. Oh God, we ask that this message and the knowledge that we have shared and being transparent will go forth and touch someone, oh God, to inspire them, to lift their spirits. If they are going through a divorce, let them know that there is life and that they can continue through you, through Jesus. There is nothing that you cannot do, that you cannot help them with or heal them from. In your name, Jesus, we pray that everyone that tuned in will have a blessed week and a beautiful weekend. And again, we say thank you, Jesus. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus'
name.
Amen.
See ya.
See you guys next week. Bye.
No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, there is a force that unites us all. Join the movement and let your lips do the talking with Aide Cosmetics, available on aidecosmetics.com.